Avengers Endgame is so big, it was able to break Google. Hey everybody, it's PB here, and I got a little bit of flack for the video that I made yesterday saying that Gamora as Zoe Saldana was not in Avengers Endgame because of how the credits were on Google. So how about this for a line? Avengers Endgame is so big it broke Google. So let's look at some of the evidence of that. When you search for Avengers Infinity War, this is what happens. So let's do a little search so that we know it's fresh. Then we scroll down, we click on Cast. Wait for that to boot up. Now we got all the main people essentially at the top. You got Hemsworth, Johansson, Evans, Ruffalo, Elizabeth Olsen. She's at the top. Interesting. That's good. And you got Chadwick Boseman. He's on the third list here. Let's extend it. Let's get the full list of what's on Google here. There's Zoe Saldana on the Infinity War list. Okay, good. We know that she was Infinity War for sure. You got Pom Klementieff, who played Mantis. We know for a fact that she was in Infinity War and also Endgame. Go a little further down the list, we got Letitia Wright. We also know for a fact that she was in Infinity War and in Endgame. Go down a little further, you got Stan Lee. He cameoed everywhere. We love Stan Lee, that's for sure. And you got Kobe Smulders. We know for a fact that she was in both Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Scroll down a little further, you got a couple more actors and actresses, and then we get to the bottom of the list. Pretty interesting. Okay, so that's that list. So then we come back and let's see what happens when we search for Avengers Endgame. And see who comes up on the list of that. Because I don't think that it's going to come up the way that you want it to come up. Okay, so we got big names at the top. Don't understand why Brie Larson is listed in front of Robert Downey Jr. on any list, but he was at the bottom of the previous list, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. So we scroll down, we got Evans, Johansson, Hemsworth, Ruffalo, Holland, Josh Brolin, Karen Gillan. Okay, all these people crossed over. All right, Bradley Cooper, Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay, they were in both. Don Cheadle was in both. Okay, Anthony Mackie was in both. Okay, that's good. Denai Guerrero was in both. Benedict Wong was in both. Batista was in... but that's the end of the list. Well, that's strange. I didn't see Elizabeth Olsen, Chadwick Boseman, Zoe Saldana, Pom Klementieff, Letitia Wright, or Colby Smulders on this list. Let's see what happens when we search for them individually. Let's make sure we're not losing our minds here. So let's do Elizabeth Olsen first. Because if it was me, I would think I would want to be credited for being in what is possibly going to be the biggest movie of all time. Oh, she's in Infinity War. She's in Age of Ultron. She's in Civil War. Okay, yep, that all tracks. And then a bunch of movies that I've never heard of before. Oh, let's click down. Let's see if it's down here. And no, Google does not have Elizabeth Olsen in Endgame. All right, let's check on Chadwick Boseman. Let's see what he looks like. Let's see if he gets credit for being in the movie from Google. Because you'd think Google would be ahead of the curve. Black Panther, Infinity War, Civil War. Okay, let's scroll down. A couple movies I've heard of, bunch I haven't. Click the... oh, that's the end of the list. He also doesn't get credit from Google. Strange. Oh, okay. Let's do Pom Klementieff. You know, Mantis. You would think that she would want definitely credit for being in both. I know that I would. Okay, Guardians 2. Yep, Infinity War. Yep. As far as I know, the only other MCU movie that she's in is Endgame, and it's not there. Weird. Okay, let's try Letitia Wright, There's a bunch of people out there that like Shuri, they like her quite a bit. So click on the Movies tab again. Let it boot up here. You got Black Panther, Infinity War, Ready Player One, okay. And, well, that's a short frickin' list. Where the hell is Endgame? This doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, let's check the last person on my list here, Kobe Smulders. Let's see if she gets her credit, because she was in the movie just as long as Stan Lee was in the movie. So let's see. Oh, there's First Avengers, there's Infinity War, okay. Age of Ultron, Winter Soldier, Far From Home. So she gets credit for being in Far From Home. It's going to come out later this year, but does she get credit for being in Endgame? I'm not seeing a picture for Endgame. Very strange. And I will guarantee you it doesn't go by screen time, because if we look at everybody's favorite Stan Lee and click on movies there and scroll it down, oh, would you look at that? The first one on his list, Avengers Endgame, because he's in the movie, so he's credited for being in the movie. But here's the big kicker. Endgame is such a big movie that it has retroactively been able to change the past with the actors that are in Infinity War. Look at this fancy stuff right here. When you search Tom Hiddleston, which everyone knows for a fact is in Infinity War, he's in the very first scene. He gives the Tesseract to Thanos. So you would think that he would be credited for being in Infinity War. He gets his credit for being in Endgame, which he's in just about as long as he's in Infinity War. There's the original Avengers, there's Thor, there's Ragnarok, there's the Dark World, there's Age of Ultron. Let's click on the arrow. Let's keep scrolling down, and it looks like, once again, the people at Google have no idea what they're doing, which is very disappointing. You would think that being the #1 site in the entire world, they would be ahead of the curve and know who gets credit where. So what is the problem with Google right now that it doesn't know where the credit is supposed to go? And the one with Tom Hiddleston is the one that I think is actually the most intriguing now. Because why does he not have credit on Google for being in Infinity War, which is from a year ago? Granted, all of the women like Elizabeth Olsen, Pom Klementieff, Letitia Wright, Colby Smulders, and from the video I made yesterday, Zoe Saldana, all aren't getting credit on Google. And I don't know necessarily what the problem is and why they're not getting credit, but I find it weird that somebody who's not necessarily, pushed forward in the cast is listed second on the cast list for the movie. And it doesn't go in alphabetical order. It doesn't go in any particular order. They just decided to put her at the top and apparently leave off a whole bunch of other women who are more important to the story in the MCU. So I'm not entirely sure what to think other than Endgame is so big it was able to break Google. So you can let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. And until next time, remember to SLS, which means subscribe, like, and share. I will talk to you later, everybody. Bye. If you are enjoying the content, please hit subscribe and ding the bell for notifications. That way you will never miss an upload by Pop Culture PB.